just wanted to clarify that you were talking about Futarchy, and then I was curious where you felt, I mean, you kind of answered it preemptively, where you felt prediction markets actually do have a role in kind of carrying out the functionality of DAOs, but I think you just gave a perfect example. And then from there, I guess I'd be really curious, how can we ground um, what governance of a school might look like via a DAO, right? So if someone were to come in and just try, they had to take a test on, how this school will work as a DAO. What would the building blocks look like? How would you characterize it to them?
Okay, so the goals of a school, I would see as twofold. It is to prepare students to financially succeed and be mentally healthy as adults while not biasing them towards any ideological or political or religious perspective. Or be variable so that they bias them towards the perspective of their own parents, so the parents can have control of that. So you would need a DAO that could manage all that. What's really interesting about the way that we've built out our school is it doesn't actually need that many individuals to operate it. So I'll quickly describe how the school works. And then I can describe how you could build a DAO around it that would actually be a mostly autonomous DAO. And by that, what I mean is it might not actually even have stakeholder feedback. So the system right now as it works is we've divided secondary education, so middle school and high school, into like a tech tree or a skill tree like you would have in a video game. Every node represents sort of a mastery level or skill a student could learn that then unlocks nodes above it. When a student clicks on one of these nodes, below, they have an opportunity to take a test to show that they have mastered that node. And then below that test is listed all of the places online they can learn that information. Whether it's Khan Academy or something that another student has uploaded or a YouTube video or something like that. And then students vote on which sources were most useful to them. And those votes are modified by how well a student did on the test, like weighted by that. And students have sort of sociological profiles created for them based on how they're voting. So sources that were similar to other sources that helped other students are recommended to them. Every year we have authentic assessments like these prediction markets I was talking about, or like in reading, it could be something like, or like writing, write a fan fiction. And then, objectively, we can judge how good a student is at writing for the reader based on how many 5-star reviews they get. And then we can, go back to all the multiple choice tests. And every year we'll throw out about 15% of the questions that are generated for these tests. Well, new questions are generated by AI and then reviewed by a person and then put into the system. So every year, this system is self-generating. When a parent wants a new skill tree that a student might take, we basically generate the new skill tree with an AI and then just plop it into the pathway. So like, they're like, I actually want an Orthodox Jewish skill tree. So we have an AI generate that, and then it continues to improve and gather more resources because students can upload more resources and upload resources they created. So this entire system, I'm not going deep on how all the aspects of it work because it's not relevant to your podcast, but this entire system is basically autonomously growing and self-healing, and parents just interact with, okay, I want the student to have access to these branches, right? So that's how we prevent it. And then it just stays unbiased because it's judging against prediction markets. Well, what it means is you might be actually able to build a DAO that's operating this that doesn't actually have a governing structure. Like, it could operate different iterations of the school, and then the iterations of the school, like you could have something where like individuals can propose different ways that the school could structure itself, or maybe different skill tree pathways that become the new default pathway. And then instead of voting on which one is best, the school could run A/B instances of these different proposed models and see which students, like which models students who went through end up earning more. And based on that, because the students would have some sort of token that they earn, and this tracks this, it automatically then pastes the model where the students who are earning more as the new structural model that the entire system is running on. So that's an example of how you could have a DAO where like it's not an individual that's choosing how things are run, but rather the efficiency of reality that's choosing where things are run. Or you could have multiple models that are created, and then students get to choose which model they opt into into, and then the model that fewer people are choosing gets sort of shut down. And that's another way that you could have people sort of vote, but without like literally voting. And so these are the types of things you can do as DAOs that you can't do as easily with traditional governing structures.